Hello, guys. I'm Timothy Earle with Earle Sports Bets, and we are live for the college baseball selection show for 2025. I know I did not do a show today, but this is something that I've been doing the past couple of years, and I'm excited to be able to break it down and talk to you guys about it today. They're going to be announcing where each team is going to be playing um, in the regionals today. We already know the 16 regional hosts, which I'm going to be pulling up now. The regional hosts include 8 from the SEC: Georgia, Auburn, Texas, LSU, Arkansas, Tennessee, Vanderbilt, and Ole Miss. You've got 3 from the ACC with UNC, Clemson, and Tallahassee, Florida State. You've got 1 from the Big Ten, which includes 2 from the Big Ten, UCLA and Oregon. You got 2 from the Sun Belt, which is interesting, with Southern Miss and with Coastal Carolina. And then you've got the 1 standalone, the non-conference team in Oregon State, who is going to be hosting as well. My prediction is that most likely Vanderbilt will be the number 1 seed in the entire tournament after winning the SEC. But we will be talking over the different regions and where each team is going to be going. So, and I will say, no odds on these regionals. Real quick, I'm going to look at my picks from earlier. Rhode Island did win the A-ton. Duke did not. Bryant did not win the AAC. Charlotte did not win. Austin PA fell flat. Oklahoma didn't. Xavier didn't. Okay, these are not good. Upstate did. That was nice to see. Big Ten was UCLA. They lost in the championship game. Unfortunately, Hawaii didn't get there. Dallas Baptist fell short. Northeastern was easy. Horizon was Wright State. Yep. MAAC was Fairfield. Yep. Ball State did not get in. That was Miami of Ohio. Missouri State did not get in. Northwest did not do there. LIU fell flat in the championship game. Vanderbilt, I did get Vanderbilt. That was plus 800, which was nice. But subtitles, I don't have subtitles, dude. I'm sorry. There is no subtitles for the stream. And the show is starting. I have it on my thing. I am going to do the I will be breaking down each one as they are announced. Most likely, we'll see where they start. Number 1 seed is Vanderbilt, as they should be. Okay, they're announcing Texas is number 2, so that is interesting. To Texas, 3 is Arkansas. Wow, top 3 seeds are all SEC. And number 4 is Auburn. So 4 SEC teams are the top 4 national seeds. Auburn was a complete surprise to me. Number 5 is UNC, ACC tournament champions. 6 should be LSU. That is there. Yep. 7. I wonder if they get Coastal in here. Georgia's going to be in the top 8. And Oregon State will grab the last national host, which is top 8 seed. So Vanderbilt, Texas, Arkansas, Auburn, UNC, LSU, UGA, Oregon State. Espanol. I don't speak Spanish, dude. I'm sorry. For those of your top 8 national seeds, it's Vanderbilt, Texas, Arkansas, Auburn, UNC, LSU, Georgia, Oregon State. I'm going to guess Coastal probably gets 9 then, 9 or 10. That or Oregon. Oregon might get 9. I'm interested to see where that's going to go. 9, 10. They're going to just start with the Nashville Regional, where the Horizon League champions in Wright State will be heading to Vanderbilt. That's interesting. I did not expect them to go to the number 1, considering they were one of the better 4 seeds, but interesting. ETSU will be, I'm guessing that's the 3 seed in it. ETSU will get the 3 seed in the Vanderbilt Regional, which makes sense. You're going to see a softer regional for Vanderbilt, considering they are the number 1. And number 2 in that bracket is going to be Louisville. That's interesting because I know they don't have ETSU as a 2 seed. So Vanderbilt, Louisville, ETSU, and Wright State as your Nashville Regional. I mean, if I look at it, I personally have Vanderbilt tickets to win the entire thing. So that's why I was super excited to see that Vanderbilt's in the number 1 team. I have 35-1 on them to win the Natty from preseason. So I am all in on the Commodores. Louisville they were an ACC school that had enough wins. That's kind of it. Now we go to the Southern Miss Regional, which Southern Miss is going to be the 16 seed, which makes sense, as they should be. They were the bubble team, so it makes sense that Southern Miss will be the 16th, the worst out of the host. Ivy League champions Columbia will be heading to Southern Miss. They are happy about that one because, hey, Ivy League always makes some type of noise in the tournament, so that's cool to see that they're going to be there. The 3 seed is Miami. Miami is in. Once again, that was a bubble team, but although I did not see them as missing, I did not have them missing because they had a good stretch that they had enough D1 Q1 wins, they had enough ACC wins, they were going to make it. The 2 seed in that one's going to be Alabama. Oh, yeesh. Bama does not look all that happy, but I mean, they're just because they're not hosting. It makes sense. But Alabama probably makes this regional, although obviously Southern Miss is hosting. Southern Miss is a very, very solid squad. Unfortunately, they didn't get to play Coastal until the Sun Belt Championship game. They lost that game. But they did have a really nice run. I believe Coastal ended their 14-game winning streak or something. So they were hot coming into the tournament. So Southern Miss definitely dangerous. So I feel like Southern Miss and Alabama probably play for the regional. I feel like in terms of if we go back to the Vanderbilt one real quick, I think ETSU has a chance. To the Tallahassee Regional, which is Florida State, they get the 9, which they were top 8 seeds all year, and then they kind of fell off when they got swept by UNC. Bethune-Cookman will get the 4 seed in that one. The winners of the SWAC walk-off 3-run shot for them in the SWAC championship game to get them to this point. That was a big game, a big win for them in order to clinch a title. Mississippi State will be heading their way as the 3 seed. And watch Florida. I'm going to say Florida gets the 2 seed there. Northeastern, never mind. Wow. Northeastern's coming into this one the hottest team in college baseball, 27 straight wins. They are 36-1 their last 37 games. So that is I was really actually hoping that Oregon would get the 9 seed because, man, an Oregon State Super Regionals would have been electric. Pick Supness, what's up? NCAA. Tigers money line. I did take the Tigers money line today. I got Twins to miss the playoffs. I like it. When does the tournament start? It starts on Friday. Hello. Sorry, I was out. I did not have the chat up. I will always get to your chats eventually. But they're currently announcing stuff. Oregon State is the 8th seed in the tournament. Really, they tested themselves with the obviously out of conference. They didn't have a conference, so St. Mary's gets their spot. They were the WCC champions. Kind of a shocker there. I was not expecting St. Mary's to win their conference. Good for them though. That's we get to see St. Mary's in there for the first time in like 3 or 4 years. So good for them. 3 seed USC is in. I didn't really expect them to be a bubble team. I had them in the entire time, but the fact that they got a 3 seed, it makes sense where they are in Corvallis. That they went to the Corvallis regional because they cannot be put there. And TCU will be the 2 seed there. That seems like a really fun regional. Oregon State, TCU, USC, and St. Mary's. Watch out for USC. I feel like USC could definitely make a impact in this tournament. TCU arguably could have hosted. They were one of the host bubble teams, so they could have definitely gotten there. Oregon State had a really, really good year. So there you go. Columbia will beat Southern Miss. I wouldn't put it past them. There's always some type of 4 seed that upsets in game 1. I could easily see Columbia because Ivy League schools always seem to put up a big fight. All right, here we go. Chapel Hill Regional, UNC. This is a spot that my Pirates could be going. So let's see. I feel like it's going to be UC Upstate or SC Upstate could be one of their 4 seed. Let's see. Holy Cross, the winner of the Patriot League. The first time that we actually got a new Patriot League champion because the last 7 years it's been Army. It's been the Army League, and now Holy Cross was able to upset them in the championship game. Not upset them because they won the regular season, but Holy Cross makes it in. 3 seed, Nebraska. Wow, Big Ten champions will get that 3 seed, which is telling me that that ECU will not be playing at UNC, which is actually kind of a bummer. I wanted to go to one of the games. Who do they got as it's going to be Oklahoma, right? Oklahoma will get that 2 seed. So UNC, Oklahoma, Nebraska, and Holy Cross. That is a stacked regional. UNC, woo, that's going to be a tough regional for them. I could imagine that they save UNC probably saves Knapp for the winners bracket, the second game on Saturday, because I feel like they can get through Holy Cross, but Oklahoma or Nebraska, they're going to want their big guy that hasn't lost a game this year. They're going to want him pitching one of those games. But honestly, I could see Oklahoma making it out. I can. To the 12 seed, which is Oregon. So Oregon down a little bit further than I expected them to, which makes sense because they did lose in group play of that tournament. They will get the 4 seed of Utah Valley, winners of the WAC. Good year from them. That was a conference that you normally see Grand Canyon make it out of, and Utah Valley was able to get there. Cal Poly gets in the Big West champions. They took back-to-back games against Irvine in the Big West championship, which was really good for them because they were probably not making it in otherwise. And then Arizona gets a 2 seed in that regional. Makes sense. The Big 12 champions, Arizona. They were able to get the job done there against TCU, and that's why TCU didn't host is with it because they lost that Big 12 championship game. Arizona gets in. They were a host last year. This is a tough regional for Oregon. Very tough regional for Oregon. I can honestly see Arizona making it out of it. I could see Cal Poly making it out of it. I could see Utah Valley giving Oregon a run for their money in game 1. So that's definitely here. To Conway, which is the 13. This most likely is where I'm seeing ECU go. Let's see. I'm going to say this one's going to be SC Upstate. Is going to be there. Oh, Fairfield. Fairfield. All right. The Stags are in. Let's see. Is this where we're going to get the ECU Pirates? East Carolina is heading to Conway. In a down year for the Pirates, they win the American Conference and they get to go to Conway. They did play Coastal this year twice, 3 times at home. They lost 2 out of 3. But could be. Oh my God, Florida. Dear God, Florida. Oh, jeez. That's not going to be easy. Florida is one of the hottest teams coming into the tournament as well. After starting the SEC play, 1-11, I believe they finished it off being 15-15. Yikes! Oof. And they would be matched up with the Auburn Regional, and I'll get to the chat after Auburn gets announced. Who does Auburn get? And this will be a big test if Troy gets in or not. Central Connecticut State, out of the NEC. They've been a solid team the past couple of years in their conference. They've been getting in. Stetson, the Hatters are in after being – that was a kind of a controversial one where they won the ASUN, but they had to cancel the championship game because of tiebreakers. Stetson got in over Florida Gulf Coast. NC State will be heading to Auburn. That's a very interesting regional. I could honestly see Stetson and Auburn being in the final there. I could see NC State going down. I can. Auburn's been really good, though. But I want to go back to this one. Dear God, they set up ECU in a gauntlet of a regional. Coastal, Florida, ECU, and Fairfield. That's going to be a very, very tough game. Can I translate to Spanish? No. Morning, Tim. How are you? How are the Astros walking off in the bottom of the ninth? There you go. Do all champs make it? All conference champions, all tournament champions get in? Yes. All of them do, 100%. That's an automatic bid. ECU is done. That's a very, very difficult, I'm not entirely happy with that regional. So LIU is in. No, LIU did not get in. That was Central Connecticut State beat them in the NEC championship game. So no, LIU did not get in. Jeez. I'm heading to Twitter real quick. Yep, yeah, that's a hell of a freaking regional. No, LIU did not win. LIU did not win. Central Connecticut won. LIU won the first game. There was a second game. There was a second game because LIU had to win twice. They did not win the second game. We are now in a commercial break. So half the field has been announced, right? Half the field? Yes, half the field has been announced. They still got to go through 8 more regionals. So we're on a good pace. Yeah, there you go. Yep. But if I'm looking at these first takes on these, I still think Vanderbilt wins the regional. You normally don't see a 1 seed or the number 1 team in the nation lose their opening thing. Plus, I have Vanderbilt futures galore. So I think Auburn probably wins this regional, but Stetson's going to give them a big fight, and I could see NC State. I could see both NC State and Stetson really putting up big fights to Auburn. Like, this is not going to be a blowout at all. So keep that one in mind. I think Oklahoma has a really good chance at winning this regional. but I only see this. Nebraska's got hot in the Big Ten tournament, but Oklahoma and UNC are two totally different teams for that one. I can honestly see any of the top three teams in this one making it out. Oregon State, TCU, USC, all really solid teams. I want to take an upset here. I want to take USC. I kind of want to take USC to win the regional. Florida State, Northeastern, Mississippi State, Bethune Cookman. I think Florida State makes it out. I think a lot of people are going to be riding Northeastern. I think Mississippi State money line is going to be one of my plays to start regional play. I don't think we're not going to get any lines for them yet. It'll be a little bit. I will be putting out plays for college baseball lines and stuff when they come out. There's no college baseball out yet for regionals. Don't expect there to be yet. But when they do, I will definitely be on all of that. But Florida State probably mixed out there. I think this one's a gauntlet. I think Arizona. I'll take the 2-seed Arizona to make it out of Oregon. I think that one's strong. I think Florida probably makes it out of the coastal region. I'll be completely honest. Florida always steps up in regional play. No matter where they are, we saw them last year. They were a 3-seed, I believe. What NCAA baseball tournaments 2024? Because they made Omaha last year. Where were they? Where did Florida end up? Florida was in the opposite side. No, was it the opposite side? Opposite side of the bracket. They're breaking down Texas real quick. Florida was out of the Oklahoma State regional, and then they beat Clemson. So never count them out. Texas regional, though, is being announced now. Houston Christian will get the 4-seed there. Winners out of the Southland. That one was a complete shock because I use Power Rankings a lot. Shout out to them on Twitter. I gave them a 1% chance at making it. Of course, Kansas State makes it. They were a bubble team, but they had a member on the committee, so they're always getting it. Kansas State's a strong team, though. They had a good year, 31-24 in the Big 12. And UTSA, of course, I kind of expected that one. UTSA out of the American Conference regular season champions. They were very good this year. I want to take UTSA to win the region. I want to take UTSA to get out of the thing. I realistically think they can make a run to Omaha. And if they can get past Texas, which this Texas team is a little bit beat up, they're missing some arms. They're missing one of their bigger bats. This is definitely a winnable regional for UTSA. To UCLA. The UCLA Bruins get the number 15 seed. They will host. They went 42-16 in Big 12 this year. Big 10. Their first year in the Big 10. And you've seen the difference between once the Pac-12 got in there. A lot of Pac-12 teams that made the move to Big 10 really did well. Fresno State. They won their conference this year. But that was kind of a download conference. Arizona State makes it into this one. Arizona State, I guess, with a bubble team, but I mean, they're 35-22. They were always getting in. And then UC Irvine, which we kind of expected that one. Irvine was a bubble hosting team. Like they could have hosted if they would have won the Big West. They lost the big back-to-back games to Cal Poly. That kind of took them out of it. UCLA just lost to Nebraska in the Big Ten championship game. So they could have gone a little bit better. They probably could have gone up to that 14-15, but I'm not really surprised that UCLA is down as far as they are. Very dangerous team, though. Do not count them out. Honestly, UCLA to Omaha might be something I want to look towards because I could see a UCLA UTSA Super Regional would be a lot of fun. That, or I could also see Irvine. To Oxford, which is Ole Miss, which gets the 10 seed after going into the SEC tournament looking like they weren't going to host altogether. They got pretty close to a top 8 national seed. And they will take on Murray State out of the Ohio Valley. Big win from them coming out of that one, where SEMO kind of ran that conference for a while. We head to the 3 seed, which is going to be Western Kentucky, and they went 46-12 this year. And the winners of CUSA, Western Kentucky is going to be a dangerous team. Who would be their 2 seed? Georgia Tech, which another team that you could have said got snubbed for a hosting. And the only reason why is they become the first ACC team to win the regular season ACC title and not host since 1999. It's been one of the basic ones for that, and they did not get there. They also lost in the semifinals in the ACC tournament. They won 1 game there, so not really surprised that Georgia Tech got left out. Okie State. Okie State. Sorry, yes. You were talking about Florida made it out of the Okie State region. Yes, they did. Okie State's a bubble team, and I think they're on the wrong side of the bubble. Cincinnati was another bubble team. I think they're on the wrong side of the bubble, but we'll see. We'll see. To Athens, where we get the Georgia regional. Georgia, 42-15 this year in the SEC. Really solid. They get a top 8 national seed once again. Last year, losing in the super regionals to NC State. Binghamton gets in, winners of the American East Conference. Binghamton actually had they could be a decent team if they put their money the right way. Wow, I was wrong on that one. Oklahoma State is in at 28-23. They were a bubble team. I guess the committee liked them. All right. I was not that. That's bad news for Cincinnati. And Duke will be the final team in that Georgia regional. Watch out for Duke. Duke's definitely a team that could make some noise in this regional, could win this regional. Duke could realistically go to Omaha. So, but this is a Georgia team that played lights out baseball, and expect them to score a lot of runs too. Good luck today, my people. ESPN chat. What's up, Stop Geo? Welcome. We've got 4 more regionals for them to bring in, and it looks like it's not going to go a complete hour. So, hell yeah, let's do this. I'm going to guess they probably give us Arkansas next. Nope, Baton Rouge to LSU. Let's see, LSU 43-14 in the SEC. They were the number 1 team in the nation for a while, but they fell towards the end of it. But hell, LSU, very, very solid team, and they will be going up against the University of Arkansas Little Rock. Good for them, OVC champions. Good. Love to see that. I believe Little Rock had a big win this year. I believe Little Rock beat Arkansas this year. So good for them. You see, they were 24-32. Yeesh. The ASUN champions get into this regional. Rhode Island will be the 3 seed there. Wow, their cameras are great. Super blurry, but hey, very nice run by Rhode Island. They had a big win this year against Oregon, and they will face the Patriots of Dallas Baptist. Once again, if Dallas Baptist won the CUSA title, I could have honestly made an argument for them hosting. But they fell flat in that one and could not get through. So they will be the 2 seed at LSU. I could see Dallas Baptist giving up fits to LSU. I could see Rhode Island giving fits to LSU. I think Little Rock's going to be happy to be there. I think LSU wins that the game against Little Rock 18-1. Little Rock's 2 in barbecue for this one, but they're going to be happy to be there. To Clemson, which is going to be your 11 seed. This one should be fun, and we should see. I keep saying it, but this one's going to be the one with South Carolina Upstate. I'm going to call that one now, and I am right. 36-23, Upstate in the tournament for the first time in their program history. Love to see that one. That's awesome. Just a little school is finally making it for the first time. That's going to really help their program. To the 3 seed, which is going to – wow, they got in. Of course they got in. Kentucky is in. That's a little bit of having that SEC name next year thing. Bubble teams are not going to like that one. That tells me Troy's not going to make it if Kentucky got in. And then take me home, country roads to West Virginia will be the 2 seed in that region. Clemson. I think Clemson gets through, although I do have futures on West Virginia. So, I had futures on West Virginia too. I said that they would host. They were close. But Clemson coming into this one hot. They made it to the ACC championship game where they lost 14-4 against UNC, but Clemson looking a lot better from the last couple of weeks. West Virginia had a really good start, kind of slowed down. I'm probably going to end up taking Kentucky over West Virginia. Clemson probably wins this one in 3 games. I don't really see West Virginia. I don't really see Clemson having a hard time with their regional. To good old Rocky Top, where Tennessee will be the 14 seed, the defending national champions, who only got the host spot because they won 2 games in the SEC tournament. And the MAC champion, Miami of Ohio, will get into the Knoxville regional. Good for them. I love Miami of Ohio. That's a little squad that I made some money on. Cincinnati is in. Yes. Cincinnati, big series win, like the second weekend of the year in Duke. They were ranked for the first time ever. They are in as a bubble team, and Wake Forest will be the 2 seed in that regional. Wake Forest had a down year, so I could definitely see them not being as strong. I think Tennessee probably makes it out of their own regional. Cincinnati, really good for them to get in as a bubble team, but Tennessee is strong, and when it comes to conference play, they know how to get it done. And then that will bring us to the final regional in Arkansas. So this one, who would get in here? I don't remember who's going to be that 4 seed. Arkansas's got some nasty arms, including Zach Root, which had a massive year. North Dakota State, that's who it was. North Dakota State out of the Summit League. They beat Oral Roberts in the Summit Championship game to get to the tournament. I believe it's their first time since 2015 that they're in the tournament. To the 3 seed, Creighton, the Big East champions, which is telling me that, wow, UConn missed. Wow. Big East, we think, oh, they're going to be a 2-bid. Oh, they're going to be a 3-bid. They were a 1-bid conference. And something tells me it was a coin flip from them. And then Kansas. The Kansas Jayhawks will get in as the 2 seed there. Wow. Okay. Let's think. So, who got left out? Who are some of the teams that got left out? Let's pull up what I want to pull up what D1 had originally as their projections. Because that's I want to see who the snubs were real quick, and then we're going to probably head out right after that. Let's see. UConn got left out. Makes sense. Oh, well, not makes sense. I thought UConn deserved to be in. Troy got left out. Xavier out. Virginia out. Those were your first 4 out. Kentucky mixed it in. Oklahoma State, Miami, and Arizona State were all bubble teams that made it on the right side of it. But that's the show. I was happy that I was able to, kind of break down. Let's see how close they were. D1 had it pretty much dead on, except for they had UConn in instead of Kentucky. Other than that, everybody else they had in. Okay, last four in: Arizona State, Kansas State, Oklahoma State, USC. Of course, USC, Kansas State was a last one in, and then last ones out were Sela, Troy, UConn, and Virginia. I'm surprised one of the first four out was Sela, considering that Sela's AD was the head of the committee, and they did not get it in. You know what? Good. I'm happy that they did that because that kind of proves a little bit of non-biased, but. Should be a very interesting tournament. We'll have a regional betting show soon. Kansas was the last team. Yeah, Clemson looking strong. I feel like Clemson could make it out of the regional. But I will have a full-on show probably Thursday night before all the tournaments of team or who I think is going to win regionals and all that stuff. So. Stay tuned for that. Most likely have some type of shows for the individual games as well. So keep an eye on that. I can't wait for Wright State whooped on Milwaukee. No, I'm not surprised. Wright State runs the horizon. I'm not surprised with that one at all. But that's going to be the show for the D1 baseball. I'm happy to do this every single this is now the third year. I'll be back doing this again next year. So super excited for the tournament. Lots of breakdown. Go Pirates.